first pick.
Alrighty, welcome to another episode of On the Clock, your Just Baseball, College Baseball, and MLB Draft podcast. I'm Jared Perkins. I don't have Tyler Jennings with me today, but we have an awesome guest with us today. Right-hand pitcher Noah Yoder out of the state of Virginia, one of the top pitching prospects out of the state of Virginia. Noah, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We're excited to have you on. I know we've been following your journey for quite a bit. I'm from the DMV area, so I've known about you for a little bit here too as well. But for the viewers who don't know you, just take us a little bit through your journey, kind of how you got into where you are today.
Yeah, so like you said, I'm Noah, and so I'm a senior in high school this year, and I guess I'm here because I'm being regarded for the MLB Draft conversations. And throughout, so I'm committed to Duke, and throughout my amateur journey, I'm a right-hand pitcher. I'm just trying to cover all my bases here.
Oh, you're good.
I committed early sophomore year to college, and this past year, the MLB stuff has started to come up for me, and it's all come pretty quickly. But I've been playing baseball my whole life, and the dream has always been to do something like this. So it's awesome that I'm able to put into fruition now.
Yeah. For you, when did it all of a sudden start being like, oh, I have potential for the draft? Like, when did that kind of become a reality for you?
Oh man, it was with baseball recruiting in general, like it was definitely a out of nowhere type of thing. But when it came to the draft, I think I was sure I was going to college until I realized, like, probably the end of my spring junior year. So after my high school season, that I had the potential to be drafted out of high school in a favorable position. And I mean, it's pretty amazing to even think of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you also, you're a multi-sport athlete, right? You play basketball throughout your high school career. How's that participating in multiple sports kind of influence your athleticism and kind of your approach to baseball as well?
Yeah. So I played basketball, and I tell some people that sometimes I think I'm not like a star player in basketball or anything. I'm not the guy that scores a ton of points or anything like that. And I actually thought that was really important for me as a baseball player, where, in the past, like, definitely I've been more skilled at baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think playing basketball not only has brought me down a peg and tried to keep me more humble, but in terms of just competitiveness and athleticism, it's a good way to hone your skills without putting stress on your arm, especially as a pitcher. It's a good way to stay in shape. And sometimes you need to take a break for your arm and take some break off of throwing. And I'm like, what do I need to do? I'm like, okay, I can just keep lifting and play basketball and have a lot of fun doing it. So that was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. You talked about kind of resting the arm a little bit. For you, I think people have noticed the fastball. You've gotten it up to 99 in a couple of short bursts. What has kind of gone into your training to kind of get you to have where the fastball it is today?
Yeah. So training wise, I take a lot of consideration when it comes to my mobility.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my key points, and one of my strengths is being able to move. I would say agilely. I don't know if but with a lot of agility. That's what I meant to say. But being able to get down, use my momentum, get to the plate, and also develop strength in terms of lifting. And I go to a great performance gym. It's called Adams Performance in the Richmond, Virginia area. So if anybody knows about that, but yeah. So training wise, I think a lot of it is about consistency and kind of maximizing the things that I am good at and continuing to improve and hone in on those skills.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I was going to kind of build off of that too, is kind of as you developed your game more, right? What's the pitch mix look like for you, and kind of how do you decide what to use during each game?
Yeah. So I actually brought baseball
Nice.
here. I don't know if
Awesome.
you want to go through it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I throw a fastball, four seam. That's probably my most used pitch in general.
Yeah.
Then my next probably other most used pitch is a curveball. And I throw a spike curveball on the bottom of the horseshoe, and I just throw it like a hammer.
Nice.
That's a good pitch for me. It gets a lot of gets a lot of looks, is a good get me over pitch for like just getting in the strike zone at the beginning of the count. And I threw a changeup as well. Recently, everybody's been throwing the kick changeup, and I kind of caught on to that. So I got the little spike up here with the middle finger, and I just kind of let it roll off the hand. And that also has been a pitch that I've developed a lot lately and been really happy with. And I also throw a sinker, kind of just a two seam, a little more shifted over on the seams. And I've been developing a slider as well.
Awesome. That's great. Are there professional pitchers that you've kind of modeled your game off of? Are you guys that you kind of look up to?
Yeah, I think lately one of the big pitchers that I've always been looking up to, or I've been looking up to, is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That I recently made a change to my delivery, and it's more focused on the momentum thing that I was talking about earlier. And I kind of kick out my leg. I don't do a crazy leg lift, and it's like, I would say it reminds me of how he pitches.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate the way that he is able to locate with precision, because that's one of the things that I had lost in my game earlier and I'm trying to develop now. And he's one of the pitchers that I definitely look up to in that case.
Awesome. I love it. You talked about this a little bit with the basketball because of how it kind of humbles you in some sense, but how do you kind of mentally prepare for starts? Are there any kind of routines or rituals that you kind of help get you in the right mindset?
Yeah. In terms of mental preparation, I wouldn't say I'm not the guy that, I have to eat a peanut butter jelly before every right. Those I got a lot of teammates who do that, and I respect that, but that's not necessarily me. And in terms of pregame preparation, it's just I try to be as thorough as possible. Like, that's what I would say. I do every stretch that I can think of, and I'm doing bands all the time. I'm just trying to stay loose. I like to warm up a good deal, like throw a lot, get the arm loose, that type of stuff. And in terms of mentally, I think calming myself down is the most important thing for me. I think I run pretty hot sometimes in terms of, at least getting myself psyched up, where it's like, I don't want to get too up or too excited where I'm not able to control myself in games. So a lot of the pregame is just calming myself down and kind of trying to prepare myself and get ready for the game ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have that high emotion, right? But you also kind of want to be level too, because you're going to have the high ups and the low lows in almost every game that you go into. So it's awesome. You kind of talked about Yamamoto as someone you looked up to, but have you had some big mentors or supporters kind of along your journey so far?
Yeah, like in terms of personal life. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of coaching, our high school staff is great. And those are the type of coaches that have taught me a lot about just kind of how to carry myself and how to, at the high school I play at Altee, our coach always talks about how he wants us to build and become better men, as well as being a great baseball player.
Yeah.
And I think that although that doesn't technically mean baseball, it has improved my baseball skill as well, through kind of the mental side and being able to humble myself, but also be able to carry myself, high on my shoulders or without slouching over, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so they've been great for me. And then I have a pitching coach. His name's Coach Hunter Hoy. I've been working with him since I was 12 years old, and I can attribute a lot of my improvements in my game to them. And honestly, I wouldn't be where I'm at without the people that coached me and helped me to this point right now.
Yeah, and I love that mentality too. To kind of talk about your head coach being the guy who just kind of tried to grow you, just not as a baseball player, but as a person. And I think the commitment you have to Duke, like Coach Pollard's probably got some of the similar aspects of your high school coach. Talk a little bit about that commitment and kind of what factors influence your decision. I'm sure having that kind of same coaching personality helped, but what ultimately led you to wanting to go to Duke?
Yeah. Like you said, that pretty much puts the nail on it. Duke's mantra is it's like #blue collar. I see that on all the PBR posts if I'm throwing on there. It says #blue collar. And I think that was a big driving force of my decision. And when I committed, I mean, Duke at the time was my only offer, but Duke, they have the strong academics, which is a big part of my family's decision as well as mine. And in terms of, I mean, at the time and even now, they're just always on the rise. I think they're making changes, they're doing things. There's new pitching coach at the time, Coach Kirkpatrick, who's obviously still around, and they were doing a lot of things that I thought was in the right direction. And I mean, I wanted to set my roots there.
Yeah, I love that. It's awesome. They have a great coaching staff, like great group of people from like Tukowski all the way up. Like it's been fun to like watch those guys kind of grow that program, become one of the best programs in the ACC too.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Last question I have before we go into kind of some rapid fire, more fun questions. So, what are some of the goals for you kind of as you transition from high school to whatever next level of baseball you go, whether it's college, the draft? Like, what are some of the short-term goals right now and some of the longer-term goals for you?
Yeah. I mean, I can think of a lot of things that I would want to improve with my game. And I think a lot of that comes down to just consistency. I want to be able to make my delivery as repeatable and as smooth as possible. And that'll kind of work along with throwing more strikes and throwing all my pitches for strikes. And goal wise, I want to keep myself in a good headspace. And, because baseball isn't a smooth process. I'm not a hitter, but everybody talks about you succeed 3 out of 10 times in the Hall of Fame. And I think that's a mentality that I also hold for myself, where it's like my goal is to not let that get to me, not letting failure get to me, where I'm able to learn from it and continue to build off of it. So I think that's one of my things going forward, is that I just want to continue to grow and continue to accept the things that happen.
Yeah, I think that's great. I used to do like a mindset podcast with another organization called Major League University, and we had Tyson Ross on. It was a former big leaguer. And he kind of talked about how like each outing is like painting a masterpiece, basically, right? You can make one little mistake, but you can still have a masterpiece at the end of the day. Like that one inning that might have gone bad, like all of a sudden you can have just 3 great innings after that, 4 great innings after that. Next thing you know, you got a quality start and like things are good. So it's like always trying to build up to that bigger goal.
For sure.
All right, so we're gonna go into some rapid fire fun questions. First one for you is, who's Noah Yoder outside of baseball? Like, what do you like to do for fun? What are some of the passions you have away? That we talked about the kind of the mindset thing, but like, how do you get your mind off the game if you had a bad performance, good performance, all those things?
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the big things about me is that I definitely do try. Like, I love baseball and so much of my life, but if I didn't get my mind off of it, it would definitely be like this kind of consuming experience. So a couple of things that I've been getting into is I'm pretty into, I would say, fashion, and
that's cool.
I like getting clothes. I like shopping. My parents get worried about it, but it's just like, it's something that I enjoy, and I don't know the reasoning behind it. It's just something that like, it makes me happy that like I'm able to put on something cool every day and walk out of the house with it. And that's something that I like to spend my time just passively, like sometimes scrolling online, seeing what there is.
It's awesome.
But it can be a slippery slope, so I try to be careful. But I mean, also just hanging out with friends, the typical, like trying to get your mind off of it, have some fun, that type of stuff. And also, well, right now I'm studying for a lot of my exams for senior year, so I'm trying to think of what I'm doing right now, but it's a lot of studying.
That's a good area to focus, though.
Yeah. Academics are definitely really important to me.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball is always very important, but I try to look at the world at the same time as well.
No, I love it. Next question I got for you is, in your area, what's the go-to food spot?
Oh, in the area, I'm a big fan of Vietnamese food.
Nice. I love it.
It's no like after the game meal, I would say. Like a lot of people want to go to like Chipotle or McDonald's or whatever it is. But there's a couple good spots around here that I like to go to with my teammates after practice or whatever it is. So there's a Vietnamese place called Mekong, a Thai place called Thai Top 10 that I like to go to a lot. I'm a big
That's
Pho fan, so that's one of my go-tos.
awesome. I love it. Next question I got for you is, if you could face one big leaguer, who would it be?
Jeez, I mean, I think everybody would say Otani.
Yeah, that's the answer we get from like on both sides. So no matter if we interview a hitter or a pitcher, they say Otani.
Yeah, I mean, so now that I said that, I'm trying to think of a different answer, but I'm a big Nats fan.
Yeah,
So I think I would want to face James Wood. Yeah, he's a young guy.
he's from the area too.
Now, and he's got a good eye. So I want to see what I can do and challenge him and try to get him out.
Yeah, he's from the Maryland area too. So
Yeah,
another local guy. I love it.
He rose up through the system. He got drafted out of high school, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love it. And then the next one, we can kind of go on this, like, build your all-time Mount Rushmore of right-handed pitchers. So this can be like, it could be like your top favorite guys. It doesn't have to be like the best pitchers of all time. It can be like guys you look up to.
Yeah. So for the 4, I think right-handed pitchers, being a Nats fan and all, I think Max Scherzer is going to be on there.
Yeah, for sure.
The mentality, the dog, and I mean, he did a lot of great things for the Nationals, and I grew up watching him, and he's got to be on there somewhere.
Yeah.
I think what I mentioned before, Yamamoto, I mean, just the way they pitches, and I feel like I shaped my game a lot after him, and he doesn't have a lot of MLB experience, but he's one of the guys that I definitely look up to. Sorry, my dog's coming over now.
No, you're fine.
But, two more pitchers. I mean, sorry. I guess
you can go lefties too. It could be just pitchers overall.
Lefties too. Okay. I mean, I just keep on thinking of the Nationals. When Patrick Corbin was dealing, he was dealing. But I mean, I guess he was on the down the last couple of years of the Nationals. So I think that sours some Nationals thoughts about him. But I mean, when he was on and in the World Series run, he was good. And everybody will probably say DeGrom as well, but I think he's a guy like another power. Like, he could throw the ball hard, but I mean, he could pitch the ball too. So I think that's another one of those guys that I just have to look up to.
I love that. I think that's a good 4. No, man, we can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to join On the Clock. We know you got a busy schedule with school and baseball season. We're going to be following along, wishing you nothing but the best, no matter what you kind of decide as the next step for your career. It's going to be awesome. So I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is great.